But yeah, so this is our temporary setup for now. We have the red couch. We know it doesn't match our branding, but we wanted to incorporate our beautiful new sign, which my dad didn't come up to put it up yet because I don't have a couch. So it's leaning on the couch right now. But I want to give a shout out to Neonific. Thank you so much for the custom sign. It was super quick. Honestly, it took like 2 weeks to get here. And we even have like, we could like dim the light and put it however we want. So guys, if you're looking for a neon sign, check them out, and you could use our discount code ChemicalX and you get 10% off. And like, I love this sign.
And guys, don't underestimate 10%.
Literally.
These neon signs, they're not $2, so that 10% comes in handy.
It comes in handy. But the way you've like grown up, like, and that's why it's actually so impact. Like people say, oh, it doesn't matter how many siblings you have, but like it makes such a difference in like your personality and the way that you are, and even the way you are in relationships. Because like, for example, when you're, I would say the youngest child, or even oldest or youngest, or like only child, you get so much attention. Because like the oldest child, okay, you're the first child, you get a lot of attention, but mostly it's the youngest child that gets like a lot of attention, usually the last one at the house, whatever.
Oh,
but like, but I
mean,
like,
gets no attention.
No, but I'm saying like, you guys are really like always like usually have a lot of attention, or only child, like you're the only kid, they're gonna give you so much attention. So it's like, then when you go out in your life, and you go into have a relationship, like you kind of need somebody who is gonna give you that attention. Like you're usually a lot more like, I don't want to say attention seeking, but I'm saying like in a relationship, like you need to have a lot of affection and attention and like be like cared about.
Yeah, I would say that's like yes and no.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's not a rule, but definitely usually the way you grow up is that it impacts the way you have relationships with friends or like
but I actually find myself like the total opposite. Like I don't find like I need somebody, or I'm like, I don't know, like I need so much attention in a relationship.
I feel like sometimes people who like grow up and like have so much like their parents are like overpowering on them, they usually tend to go to a relationship that's like the opposite. It's either like it's like the thing where it's like, you know, like if your dad is an alcoholic, you either grow up and be an alcoholic, or you never drink. You never drink at all. So it's like either you like really go towards it, or you're the total opposite. Like,
and a lot of
people
always say like, I want to date like somebody who's like my dad, because that's what they've like seen. And,
but it's like, it depends.
And then they end up with someone completely opposite, and you're like, what is going on? Like,
it depends though.
If only your dad was half the man that, let me tell you, is what you're dating, and it's not. So,
but it definitely depends. But I do think that like, I swear siblings make like so much difference.
I know.
Like
I hate them and I love them. It's a hate-love relationship. But
it is the strongest hate-love relationship you could ever have. Like literally a brother or a sister. It's literally like, I'll throw you down the stairs. But if you need a kidney transplant tomorrow, I will do it. But like, I will fucking kill you. Like, and I won't say you're welcome. No. Like, I'm kidney transplanted and I'm leaving. But I'll still do it. That's like explains siblings like to a T. It's crazy.
It's so true. It's so true. I feel like for me, like I have 2 older brothers, and people always go, oh my God, what's it like dating you with your 2 older brothers, Italian brothers? They must be so hard. But I'm like, honestly, like, no. Like, maybe when I was younger, it was more like, don't fucking touch my sister. Like, ew. Cringe.
I'm so glad I didn't have an older brother.
Oh, my God. Like, cringe. But honestly, like, to be honest, I don't feel like it's like that now. I think the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, we're more just like friends. Older. We actually share the same friends, and like we can all get along. But like it was more when we were younger and I was like super immature that it was like, okay.
Yeah, but I also think they're a lot old. I don't want to say a lot older, but you do have a bigger.
You could say it, guys. It's out. I was a mistake.
Oh my God, were you actually?
Kind of.
No way, you were unplanned.
Yeah, like my mom really wanted a girl,
and you couldn't put those tights back in the box that they needed to be in. She didn't even fucking want you, Alessia.
She tells me that all the time.
Let me tell you what she's telling you when you come home with her juice bottle. She's saying, you weren't planned, by the way.
I'm bad. I don't know. I get different vibes. Sometimes I'm like, wait, I was actually a mistake. And then I'm like, okay, my mom really wanted a girl. So she said, oh, it happened. But
she said, oh, it's a girl. I think.
She never wanted to know. She wanted a girl so badly that she said, like, I'm not going to like do the ultrasound and find out. I knew that they only knew I was a baby when I came out. And my mom was just waiting because they just obviously all thought she knew. So they're all like crying. And then my mom's like, so what is
it
it?
a boy or a girl?
And it was this amazing, beautiful species.
Boy. It was a
like
boy.
Like they say, third's the best.
Do they say that? Because I'm second.
They say third's the charm.
First is the worst, second is the best, third is the one in the Barbie dress.
You have the Barbie life sign, so.
So switch.
Yeah.
But no, I do think.
But I want, like, I know, like, I speak about kids and I'm like, how many kids do I want? Like, how many kids do you want?
It always changes, but I kind of want to. Okay. But, like, also you can't decide. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you can. You can.
No, I feel like I could sit here now and say, like, those people that say, oh, I want a big family, I want 6 kids. I'm like, yeah. And you're going to start paying 6 schools, 6, like, it's actually expensive.
It's actually
and it's like
a lot.
And when you have one kid, you actually realize what it is to have a kid. Yeah. So it's like, I kind of get people who have one kid and be like, oh my God, I can't have another one. And then they end up having, but I wouldn't, because I grew up with siblings and cousins and everything, I wouldn't want my kid to be an only child.
I know, same. But sometimes, like, I know it's kind of mean we made this whole only child syndrome, but like, what about the people who actually can't, like, have another one because of, like, so many complications and stuff like that? Like, you're even lucky to have one. Like,
but even it's
you
like,
never know.
It's all like, another thing is, if you think about it, would you rather have one kid and, like, you can give them an amazing life, or have 2 kids and you're always struggling to provide for them? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you kind of have to put that into consideration.
It's true.
At the end of the day, and I also think I think there's a lot of, like, hate towards people that don't want to have kids as well. Like, girls who are like, no, I don't want to have a family. Yeah. And it's like, there's so much hate, but it's like, you know what? At the same time, like, it's your decision. Yeah. Or people who can't have kids and, like, they get so, like you don't really know. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you don't have a kid, but it's like, you don't know why she doesn't have a kid. Yeah.
Like people, like, kind of put this whole, like, stereotype that you get married, you get kids, but, like, some people don't even want to get married. Some people don't want kids, and it's fine. Like, I think, that's one thing, like, we like, as a whole, like, society, it's very, like, frowned upon. Yeah,
like, I swear, I actually have, like,
and even the pressure from, like, the parents and stuff. You know, like, they want their grandchild and stuff. And anyway, all I'm saying is I'm okay with 2, but I would love 3. I feel like normally if you grow up in a family of 3, you want either 3. If you grow up in a family of 2, you want to, like, it. I always say, I just want a boy and a girl. Like,
I want a boy and a girl, and or 2 girls. But I always say, like, if I have 2 boys, I'm leaving. But I always say,
then you're gonna be like my mom saying it was a mistake, but let's hope it's a girl.
Cross my fingers. But I always say I want 2 kids because I want to have a nice car, and I don't want to be driving around in a fucking momager van.
I'm good. If you have 3 kids. So, funny story. Last weekend, actually, I was with some of my friends, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but it's apparently been, like, a tradition for forever. It tells you how many kids you're going to have and the genders of them. So I did that the other day.
What is it?
Sketch. I was like, what's going on? It's basically you take any kind of metal. It has to be like a metal string or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I did that when I was, like, in grade 5.
Well, what did you get?
I don't remember.
Okay, well,
I remember I did it last week. This, right?
Yeah, I did it last week. And apparently the girl said that, like, they've done her mom, they've done everybody, and it's always been right. So I was like, okay, next, let's go. And let me tell you that it's stressful because, guys, think about it. It's literally like a metal string, and she, like, dabs it, goes up and down 12 times. I think it's so weird. Like,
I swear I've done this when I was a kid.
Well, I hope so. Women are the only ones getting pregnant. It only works with women. Well, no, it's because my gay best friend was there, and we tried it on him, and it literally didn't work. So it is, they take, like, the metal piece, and they just dab up and down 12 times, and then they place the metal string over your hand, like, and then if it goes in circular motions, then you're having a girl. If it goes straight, you're having a boy.
Okay.
So I start, and I'm like, 1, 2. She's doing it for me. She's like 1, 2, 3. She does it like 12 times, and then she puts it over my hand, and it literally starts going. It starts turning. So I'm like, bitch, I'm having a girl. That's all I really care about. Like, I don't know. A lot of girls sometimes they say, like, I want boys. I actually don't want a girl. And I'm like, how? Like, I want to have my little minion shopping with me. Like,
I don't get how. Well, not that I don't get it. Of course I can get it. But, like, I'm so much better with like, even like as a, like when I was babysitting and I was being like a nanny at a point and tutor, like I get along so much better with girls, which is weird because I was always like a huge tomboy. Like I was never
Why is it weird? You're a boy.
I'm literally a boy. No, but I'm saying like I was never like girly. So like for me to get along with girl, I think because now older I'm very girly.
Yeah.
So like I get along really well with girls. I'm like, oh my god, you want to play Barbies? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll play fucking Barbie. You want to play dress up? I want to play dress up.
Yeah.
But with a boy, I'm literally like, ball. Like,
like
what do you do?
You throw it. You throw like you throw it to a dog and they go catch and
I say sorry. But like I actually grew up like I pretty much.
So let me just finish my story. Okay, okay. I put the metal piece over. Anyway, so I get a girl. It's all circular. And then I go again. She does 12 times. She goes over and then it starts going straight. I'm like, I'm getting a girl and a boy. I am happy with that.
Literally. Is this counting babies that you've aborted as well? So at what point does it start?
I could kill her.
You continue. I'd thrown a joke. We didn't say a joke. It's 20 minutes now.
No, we've been joking.
You're like, you had your joke? Wait a bit.
You wait. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, do it a third time. And then it literally just stays mute. I'm like,
whoa.
No. Start work. Like, how weird is that? She's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't work. So I'm getting a girl first and a guy second. And I always said I wanted a girl first so that the guy can grow up respecting his sister, women, and then he's gonna be like an amazing guy and treat women like properly.
100%.
But anyway, so I was like, oh my god, I'm getting a boy girl. Like I don't know, pictured myself with like a family of three kids. So I don't know, like, oh my god,
adopt.
So I have two.
Shop.
And then I'm like, what does that mean? I'm telling her like, can I not have a third one? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not ready for kids now, but like, why are you stopping me? And she said like it could change, but like most of the time it is what it is. And like, she even like, picture this guy. She did it on a gay guy. And it literally just like, she did the same thing 12 times. So like, I don't know. There's some kind of like, there has to be some kind of truth to this. Anyways, I don't mean to get all spiritual on everybody.
Oh my god, I'm scared. I wouldn't want to do it.
Oh my god.
I always think about like, it's all fun and games now. Nobody wants to get pregnant. But then it's like, when you actually like, there's so many people that like, they live their whole life not knowing like anything. And they're just trying not to get pregnant. And then it's like, okay, they're ready to have a family. And then it's like, they realize that they're infertile and they can't have kids. I'm like, that's scary. Like, I know there's so many relationships that end because like, the woman can't have kids and it's like but that's a little bit more old fashioned. Like I feel like a lot of people, I wouldn't say like in our community, like I feel like Italians are very traditional, they still want to get married, but a lot of people in like our generation like don't want to get married, like want to have kids but probably don't want to get married, like, and the ones under us is like even worse. Like they're like, they don't believe at all in like being with one person for like ever.
And so I feel like also like depending on how you were raised and like if your like parents are still together, like, you know, if you still see that love, you're like, okay, maybe it still exists. But I know it's weird to say, but like I feel like the more and more time goes by, I'm like, does a love like okay, I'm in a relationship right now and I love my boyfriend, but sometimes I think like I'm like for people and stuff, like, does love exist like it used to? Like, or because I feel like now everybody is more like likely to get like over somebody and they're ready to like, you know what I mean, move on faster. And then it's almost like to stay with one person, is that still a thing? I almost feel like as the generation goes on, it's like harder.
I feel like we're definitely a generation where like, no, it's not weird, and I feel like it's so true. Like, because at the same time, like, love is not like, for example, like love is not like the movies where you fall in love and it takes zero work. Like staying in love actually takes work, which is weird, and a lot of people don't believe that, but like to actually stay loving somebody and like to accept and to go on and work on your relationship, like it's actually work, like it takes work. And I think because there was there was so much like stigma around getting divorces, like people had no choice but to like really work on the relationships. So I do feel like it's different. Like I don't think it's the same now. Like I think we're a lot pickier and we're a lot like,
and also
I'm over you, bye.
It's so easy to swipe left, swipe right, that people go, you know what? He has one default, bye, I'm on to the next. And you always think that the grass is greener on the other side. Look, I'm not saying that sometimes, you know, relationships don't work out or like people aren't meant for you, and you have to really just check your negotiables and non-negotiables and say like, look, is this something I'm willing to put up with? Is this something I'm willing to like work on? Anyways, I know I'm going back, but my mom answered me and you're gonna die of laughter. I'm like, did you take my glass? I'm like, oh my God, yes. You lost the other one I had. Now don't touch this one. I already told you. I don't care if you have no time. I'm fed up. Don't touch my glass.
Guys, I just want to remind you that Alessia was a mistake. She was unplanned and her mom is letting her know that she was unplanned. But
actually, and do you believe in soulmates?
Yes, but
Okay, but do you believe that there's one soulmate for everyone? I always wanted to ask this on the podcast.
But I believe so. Soulmates are actually like, I don't know if you know, like for what I believe and what's like actually
what
like,
do you
widely
believe?
believed.
Like, do you believe that everybody has more than one soulmate, or they have one?
So soulmates can actually be anyone. So like you can have a soulmate even in like your brother or your sister. You can have a soulmate in a friend, and you actually have multiple soulmates throughout your life. So like the definition of a soulmate is somebody who you meet, that you connect with on a deeper level, and they're there to teach you something. And they're not necessarily there forever. So like you could be with somebody, you could have a relationship with somebody who's your soulmate, but it doesn't mean you guys are soulmates in the sense of like love. And then there's also, so there's soulmates, and you can have like friends. Like I've had literally like, I can say I probably had more friends that were my soulmates because you actually learn something on a deeper level. Like it's not like we're friends and you taught me how to tie my shoes. Like it's like you needed them to grow in your life. And that's what I consider a soulmate. So I think you can have many. I think they could also be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
I agree with that. I have to agree with that 100%.
But then there is something called twin flames. So like twin flames.
Teaching me something here. I don't know what that is.
So twin flames is actually like what a lot of people would think a soulmate really is. So a twin flame is essentially the idea behind it is that you guys are the same soul that were like split in two. So basically you guys guys both share a soul, and you meet. It's rare that two twin flames will come together. It's only every couple of lifetimes that you'll actually meet your twin flame and that it'll work out. And like usually they say like the relationship is really emotional. It's very hard because you guys are like connected at a way deeper level. They're not there to teach you something. They're literally like the other half of your soul. And it's like, holy. And like a lot of times, like they say like you like.
And they say you want to end up with somebody like that?
So the thing is like they say that you don't always run into them in your lifetime, but if you do, most of the time it's a very hard relationship because it's like there's something, it's so perfect, but there's always something that's stopping it. But every like few lifetimes, it does work perfectly and the circumstances are perfect and you guys are in the right like time together to be together.
David, I'm learning something new.
Yeah. So it's really cool. And I actually think that my boyfriend is my twin flame. Oy. But I also think that we're not in a, like, I swear we're twin flames. I know 100%. And like, for example, like something about like twin flames is like basically the number of the universe is 1111. That's like ultimate like equilibrium, like ultimate like balance. So like everything is perfectly balanced. So obviously 1111, it's the same number. So all my life I always saw the numbers 911. Every time I would look at a clock anywhere, I always caught the numbers 911. And it was always a thing. And then for a while, like I stopped seeing it. And then after I met my boyfriend, like I started seeing, like right after I not met him, but we started like talking and dating, I started always seeing the numbers 1111. And like obviously people, if you're not spiritual or whatever, like you don't believe in it or something, it's fine. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying like for me, my experience, I really like everywhere I would go, I would catch 1111 numbers on like houses and stuff. Or even like 111, anything like a lot of ones. And I always thought like 11 is my lucky number, so whatever. And then when I found out about twin flames and I was looking into it, I was like, oh my God, like this is literally how I feel, you know? And I looked deeper into it and you're like, yeah, like a lot of people who find their twin flames start seeing the number of the universe, which is 1111. And I didn't know this before I even had told him that I always see 1111. Like, must be lucky that we're together. And apparently it means like it's literally the universe giving you a sign saying like, you're at a perfect balance right now. Like the universe is like saying like, this is good. Like you're at a perfect balance. How crazy is that?
Oh my God. Should I just go kill myself? Like, with a story like that, my God, I'm never going to get married. So, David? Where's the ring?
She's gonna start writing 11s everywhere. Ooh, wow, who put that
Veronica's
there?
gonna start saying, babe, when are you proposing? Because 11-11 means that we're a perfect match. So I actually just saw it again today, and I want to know where my ring is because.
But I really do believe in like soulmates, and I do believe in souls, and like
I 100% agree with you, and I do think that like there are many, you have many soulmates, and they could come in like friendships, in relationships, family members. No, that's for sure.
But I think twin flames are really interesting, and I think a lot of people know soulmates, but not a lot of people know twin flames. And like when I was reading, I was even listening podcasts about it, and I was like, wow, like this is amazing.
But
like
do you
it's
think that
like
also what is it called?
twin flames.
Twin flames. Do you also think it could be like your perception of like of that? Like could you think that for you, like right now you're saying that?
The reason I know that it's different is because I've had obviously past relationships, and I can, and it's not like me first time in love saying, oh, twin flame, like this is, it's like I've actually lived through different relationships, and not that like obviously every love is different, but I just like for example, like there's things that I can't, like there's things like I can feel, like things that I don't know, like I wasn't with him in these times. I can feel pain that I know that he feels, and sure, it could be like empathy, but it's like I feel it on a deeper level, or like you like know more. Like sometimes it's like we always think the same thing. Like we're very, very like in sync to like a scary point of view. Do you know what I mean? Like, but like it's very true. But that's why I felt when I started reading about it, it had nothing to do with the 11-11 at the beginning. I said like, oh my god, I think we're actually twin flames. Like from what I'm reading, it really seems that way. Like. And then even scarier when I found out about like the 11-11, I was like, oh my god, like
that's nuts. Yeah. Because at first when you were telling me, I'm like, okay, 11-11, like, because have you ever watched the movie with Will Smith and the girl with the blonde hair? I can't remember, but they're like thieves.
David. Oh, Focus.
Yes. The movie Focus.
Love that movie.
Yes, really good movie. But I always remember something from there, and it always just stayed with me. But
oh my god, I know you're gonna say it. Love it too. Continue.
Okay, wait, what am I gonna say?
No, I know what you're gonna say.
Is it when the whole match is going on and he places a huge bet, and then he had said like pick a number in the team, and then if I guess that number, like you give me $1 million or whatever it was. So the whole week before he knew the guy was gonna be at the event, he started shooting like 4s everywhere. So everywhere he would go, he would come across a 4, like everywhere
in
he
different
would go.
ways.
So
it would be like 4 pillows on the couch, pillows, like
subconsciously they were throwing 4s everywhere. So he didn't really know he was staring at the 4s, but then when it came to choosing a number on the football team, he's been subconsciously seeing 4s all the time, that it's like he obviously knew he was gonna drag towards 4. So when he chose 4, Will Smith was like, he was like 4. You know, it was almost like a scam, but pre-planned. But sometimes I feel like, I'm not saying it in the idea of like what you're saying or your circumstances, but we tend to see something a lot after we've opened our eyes to it. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No, 100%. And I totally agree. Yeah. And I also think like you're more like you're looking for it. Like now it's like I know 11-11, I'll look for it. Do you know what I mean? Like my eyes are open, it's like I'm looking. Like if I turn my phone open, like I'll register the fact that I'm seeing 11-11.
But sometimes it's like it was always there, but you just never paid attention to it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then like something clicks, and all of a sudden it's like, it's kind of like, it goes back to, I don't know if anybody has watched or read the book The Secret, but it's all about the law of attraction, and like whatever you attract into your life is what you're going to start to see and perceive. So it's like, if you want to be successful or you want to be all these things, where you almost got to like, how do you say it? Like you have to attract it, and you have to be like open-minded. You can't be negative. And that's the hard part, because it's like you can go through times where you're like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing, and then you have your down times where you're like, oh my god, and you start to think you start to think negative, and apparently like your negative thoughts is what brings out negativity. And it's like, but how do you stay positive all the time? It's like, oh my god, like
it's really hard. And it's also called
it's
like
a lot of work. Like my aunt's a coach, and she talks to me about it, and I'm just like, it's one thing to say, you know, like don't have negative thoughts and be positive, and if you really want something, you have to let it go. And how did this conversation even get here? But you have to let it go. And it's like, okay, but I want this thing. Like, how do I let it go? And how does it still come back to me? Like, you know,
it's about,
and that's why, hold on, sorry, I just want to say one more thing. And that's why a lot of times when we say like, oh my God, I was thinking of that, but you forgot it, and then it ends up happening, it's because you let it go. Like things you don't let go and you're dreading about it, and you're like, oh my God, I really want this, and you're thinking about it all the time. You're not giving the chance to the universe to actually give it to you.
Yeah.
Whereas that's why sometimes when you say something like, oh yeah, maybe, you almost like it comes to you because you're not trying to control the situation.
But I also
Crazy.
think like manifestation is like a
Yeah.
really big thing, which is essentially the same idea. It's just like telling yourself things like until it happens. Like I am, for example, like, you know what I mean? I remember, and this is actually, we'll throw in a funny story here. My mom had read The Secret when I was younger, and I was in like high school. I was maybe in like Sec 1 or Sec 2. And like she had told me about like the whole idea about it. Like she would literally be like, if
Some
you
people
want
laugh
something.
and they say, okay, this is a
No,
joke.
but she'd be like, basically, if you want something, like, let's say, okay, you want to be a pilot, not saying that that's what it is, just an example. Let's say my mom said, okay, you want to be a pilot. You have to say every day you wake up and you say, I am a pilot. I am a pilot. I am a pilot.
You have to already imagine yourself in that.
You create, right. So, and she would be like, leave yourself a note somewhere, like your goals, your dreams, write it down, and you see it all the time. Or like, I know people that like put their password as like their dream. Anyways, because you want to always have it. You want to remind yourself that this is what you are. Yeah. So anyways.
You want to remind yourself, but you don't want to dread on it and like, you know, make it control your life.
So me being 13 and obviously having no other goals in my life than the guy I had a crush on.
Oh my God, what did you get, The Rock?
No, so listen. So my mom told me this whole thing and I was like, oh my God. Obviously the only thing I wanted was this guy who I had a crazy crush on. So what did I do? I wrote on a paper and I said, I'm dating. And I put his name and I put it inside my dresser, and everywhere I opened my dresser and I would see it. God. Never dated him. But I mean, that's also because I'm not sure that's how that works.
It's because he's not your soulmate.
Yeah. But anyways,
God was doing you a favor. He was going, let's save her from this fire.
My mom said, The Secret, this is what you got to do. And I said, yes. Oh my God. I wrote, I love.
It's crazy though, because like I remember being young and watching the movie and I was like, oh my God, like
focus.
Maybe I focus, or like, because they show in the movie like people's lives and people who've used this law of attraction method, and like they've cut out pictures of their dream home and they put it on a bulletin board, and you should always like visualize it and see it, and anyways, whatever. So then after a while he had just put the board away and whatever, and then like,
wait, what movie?
The Universe.
Oh,
I'm talking about The Secret. The Secret.
Oh, I didn't know it was a movie. I thought it was a book.
No, there's both.
Okay.
There's both, yeah. Anyways, so I watched the book. I
watched the book.
I started reading the book, never really finished it, but I watched the movie. And what was I saying now? I'm all lost.
The guy
put away the whole mood board of everything he wanted, and then 20 years later when he was cleaning up his house, he literally pulls out the bulletin board and realizes that the house he had on the picture was the house he was living in. Now that is wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Also a movie, but I get the idea there.
Also a movie.
No, but
anyway.
I totally believe, like, I'm making a joke, but I totally believe in the law of attraction. And I think, like, honestly, like, another thing is, like, all about your mindset. And sure, you don't want to get into it that deep, but it's just, like, if you're constantly, like, thinking about the fact that you're unhappy, you're actually never going to be happy. Yeah. Like, it's fact. Like, you could believe whatever you want to believe. Mm-hmm. If you sit around every day saying, I'm so unhappy, I want to be there, you're not going to get there. Yeah. You're actually just not. Like, I so believe in, like, doing, and like, I when I think this is what I want to do, I say, okay, what do I need to do to get there? I'm going to do everything I possibly can. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I want to do this, and that's it. Like, I hate people who sit there and say, oh, I want this, and put in no effort. Yeah. I'm like, that's genuinely not how life works. Like, sure, you might be the one lucky person that might, you know, an opportunity pops into their hands, but like, generally speaking, you have to go out and look for it. You have to put it into the universe and say you're really trying for something, and you'll get it back. Like, 100%.
Yeah, that's where I found, like, my aunt was, like, not missing a bit of, like, skills, but I find, like,
I guess let her know.
Well, oh Zia, my God.
Turn on the podcast. You're missing skills.
Oh my God. This 23-year-old thinks she knows more than you and you're 45. But no, because I find when she was training people a lot, she was saying, whatever you want, you can have it. Just be positive, law of attraction, all this stuff. Put it out in the universe. But the thing I find, you know, it's one thing to say that, but if you're not putting in the work that comes with it, then yeah, you can be positive all you want. It's not enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have to still, that's where I find she was missing. It's like, just, you want that, just be positive. But she was missing the information that goes with it. Like
100%.
One step, like, what are your goals? What are you going to work on today? Like, how are you going to get there? Like, that's the main bulk of how you actually get something.
Yeah.
Not by just saying you want it and you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to like work for it.
I also think like a really important thing that I feel like people always forget is like, and it's so oversaid, but it's actually so true. It's like you just have to focus on the little things and start small. And nobody wants to start small.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to start at the little job.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. They all want to be the best because you think you're the best.
Yeah.
But like you actually like you realize like going down the line. Even now, I realize like all my stupid little jobs I have helped me in a certain way to get
For
to a
sure.
certain place. And I wouldn't be here if
Yeah.
it wouldn't be. And wherever I'm gonna be in the future, I'm gonna still have needed that
always
one
gonna
job
come
that I
in
took.
handy, yeah.
You know
And
what
I'm
I mean?
a true believer that like you only start learning when it's like when you actually go out in the world. Like school, like anyways, I'm not against school and whatever. I didn't love school growing up, but I'm saying like for example, like in school when I was learning about marketing and whatever, I was listening. I didn't really learn. When I did my internship or whatever, that's when I really learned, you know, until you actually do it yourself. Like, anyway. But yeah, like even going back, like for me, example, like body strands, I wanted to right away. Like it's normal. You want it to blow up right away. And like you're impatient of waiting a bit. And it's like you almost start to think like, okay, wait, maybe I should just like give it up or whatever. And then it's like, you know, I try and give to an influencer who, instead of working with the influencer at 10K, I'm like, well, wait, why take the shortcut if I can get there with the girl who has 1 million followers? And it's just like, it's almost like wishful thinking. And yes, it might work out and the girl might do it, but like sometimes it's just better to
take the long way.
To take the long way and to start and to grow your like your
I mean, a lot of times we see people and they're already like, we look at them and they're like, oh wow, you're
they're
so
already
successful.
there and we're like,
they're
oh my god, like how do I get there?
But then you don't see like,
you don't see the 8 years or
for example, like Joe Rogan, like everybody talks about Joe Rogan's podcast and it's like, obviously us, we do a podcast, like I look up to like that podcast, I watch it a lot and I'm like, wow, it's great. And then I think about he's been doing this for 10 years.
And I'm like, I had no idea.
And it's like consistent 10 years and he does it and he doesn't do it for anyone else. He gives, you know, he's making genuine content. And it's like at the same time, like you could look at him now, now it's a big thing. He had his deal with Spotify and everything. So everybody has like their eye on him and it's so great to see, oh, you know, you'll never be like Joe Rogan, but it's like, yes, but he's 10 years
and
hard
he
work.
started somewhere. He started like us. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say started like us, but like,
you know what I mean?
You start somewhere and you grow, like you be consistent.
Who was he before podcast?
He
was somebody?
Yeah, he's a comedian and he's like a commentator.
Oh my god, okay, so no, he did not start where we
started.
No,
he didn't start where we were, but I do think like he wouldn't be where he is now if it wouldn't be
consistent for 10 years.
Yeah, you have to be consistent.
10 years.
I watched a TED Talk with that actor. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Oh, I don't remember his name. Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Thank God we got your twin helping you.
Movie boy. Thankfully, I have him here for something.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. Here for everything.
Rude.
I'm joking. But I watched a TED Talk on him, and they're talking about he's talking about creativity and how like as soon as you start doing something to get attention, already like what you're gonna create, but what you're gonna create is gonna be 10 times less good than doing something genuine and doing something because you actually want to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's like, for example, think of somebody you're an artist, okay? You start painting because you want to make a living and you're trying to paint to please everyone. It's not going to be your best art. When you start painting and you're doing it from the heart and you're doing what you want to create, that's where your art really stands out. And it's like, it's so true. Like I think a lot of times now with social media, like we're always worried about like getting attention. Like I'm going to do this. Am I going to get attention? Are we going to have this guest on the podcast? Am I going to get attention out of it? If I wear this, am I going to get attention out of it? It's not like doing it because you're enjoying it.
Attention.
But you know what I mean though? Like, and it's so crazy to think like as soon as
you know what? We're not that sad that you didn't come on because turns out.
No, but I mean like as soon as you switch your mindset to think like I want to do things because that's the best that I want to do and that's genuinely what I want to do and I don't care if I get 0 likes, 0 views or 1 million. That's the best you'll create.
You're gonna grow because
because that's what it is. Like when people, you start losing like the authenticity and you start losing like the actual quality when you're so focused. Like for example, he was saying like as an actor, he would go on set and be so worried about like what everybody else, he was like, well, they're going to do a better performance than me and everybody's going to talk about them in the press and how do I beat them? And that was in his mind, right? And he's like, well, when I realized like, let me just focus on me, do my best And who cares about everybody else? Who cares about what they're gonna say? Let me just work my best for myself. He's like, that's when I would do my best work.
Yeah.
That's when I was amazing because I was in it. I was paying attention to myself.
Yeah. And I think, like going back to Instagram and stuff, like I think like being authentic, and that's like one of the ways to grow. Like one of the biggest ways to grow is like, let's be real, there's another girl on each social media showing a bathing suit of a perfect body. You know what I mean? It's the people who show like the cellulite, who literally tell you like, it's okay, you're not, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? And like, I think sometimes like a lot of times even I can get like, I'm not like a super depressed person, but like even I sometimes could literally be on Instagram going, wow, like I wish I had her life, or oh my God. And it's like, it's so easy to think right away like your life sucks and somebody else's is so much better. And it's like, it's really just what they're showing you, what they want. Like that's the thing about social media, you technically only really show the good shit, right?
100%.
So if you're having an off day, you're not really showing all that stuff. So it's like people who see it from other eyes are going, wow, like I love her life, you know?
But it's crazy how I think.
Let me tell you, when I was in my 9-to-5 job and I was going and seeing all these girls on the fucking
having brunch, and you're going
having brunch, I was going, I actually hate my life. Like I'm
this isn't a joke.
This 9-to-5 job doing absolutely nothing.
There's nothing worse.
I hate my life.
There's nothing worse than being at work and seeing people like doing shit, and it's a sunny day. You're like, fuck you.
Oh my God.
But what I wanted
to say in another podcast, we'll talk about my whole experience on my old job, and I have so much on that. Oh my God.
I just want to say before we change topic, I just want to talk about like how I find it funny, like the way like society is changing a bit. Like I think our generation, we started off with social media, and it was like, it started off being like so curated and fake and best pictures and best this and edited. And I feel like now we've gotten to the point that nobody actually cares if you're perfect anymore. Like now it's like the younger generation, everybody has like a Finsta, which, do you know what a Finsta is? It's like an Insta for like your friends. Like it's like posting stupid shit. Like everybody, like I look at like my brother who's younger, he's 15. Like I look at his friends and stuff, and it's like, yes, it's still Instagram. You're still posting your cute pictures, but they also post like really random shit and like ugly pics and like whatever. Like I feel like as we grow, like they're like changing social media.
Just, at the end of the day, everybody's so many more people that can relate.
Yeah.
Because we're not perfect, so everybody can relate more to something that is imperfect than something that is perfect. You know what I mean?
I think they're kind of changing that slowly. Like I think younger generation doesn't look up to like all these Instagram models and say like, oh wow.
I don't know about that.
Yes, to a certain extent, but I do think they're a lot less than us. Like I think we really were the generation of influencers.
We were the peak of when
we were like
happened.
Influencers, and I think they will not be an influencer generation. They're gonna be like a who cares? Nobody cares about anybody. Nobody cares about attention. Nobody wants to get married. Nobody wants to have kids. Like the generation under us is so weird.
We'll see.
Like it's very different, and I think they're gonna take that and like I think still we really are like this like. But even now, like you have to look at like influencers, like that curated feed doesn't really work anymore. Like you could have a pretty feed, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get a lot of followers. People want to see like interesting things. People want to look like it's so oversaturated. Like you see an influencer post and you just scroll by. You don't even care anymore.
People don't want to know about the pasta you're eating and the picture of the restaurant. They want to know.
They want to know the juicy stuff.
When you got attacked and the pasta got thrown in your face. They want to know that shit. They want to know the shit that makes you real and raw.
Yeah, 100%. But anyways, to move on from this topic, I really want to talk about love languages.
Yes, let's talk about love languages.
I feel like this is a good episode to pull that up.
Absolutely. I mean, I kind of know them, but let me pop them out.
You're actually the person who introduced me to love languages. You told me about it. I never knew about it. And I had listened to a few podcasts where they're talking about love languages. And I just think it's pretty interesting.
So there's 5 love languages, okay? Okay, so the first one would be words of affirmation. So love language is basically how you receive and how you give love.
And what works for you.
Works for you. So let's say you're in a relationship, or let's say in anything. It's not even just relationships, but
friendship even.
For you, what makes you feel complete in giving and receiving. So the first one would be words of affirmation. So that dress looks incredible on you. You always make me laugh. Like compliments, exactly. Words of affirmation, like making them feel good and making them know.
Through words.
Yes, exactly. The second would be acts of service. So guys, I mean, it's pretty out there. Acts of service just means like doing something for somebody. So let's say you're a person who the thing is, you can be more than one love language. You could be what? I think it's two. You could be three, but like it's mostly like two.
You have
anyways.
I think we all have, like, obviously we all have all of them, but there are your main ones that are really important to you. And like I think to choose what your love language is, you have to say, okay, what am I okay in a relationship? Like, what am I not okay not having whatsoever? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not acceptable.
Yeah. So if you're that girl sending a text to your boyfriend saying actions speak louder than words, then you're probably that girl who likes acts of service. You want to see the shit being done. You want him to cook you the dinner. You want to see him try and do stuff, not just like...
And do it for you, put in effort.
And do it for you and put in effort. The third one is receiving gifts. For all my girls out there. Third one would be receiving gifts. So for somebody to show them their love, they have to buy you things.
But I do think, anyways, we'll talk more about that.
Anyways, it doesn't have to be like they need to buy you a Gucci bag,
No.
But it's the little things of, like thinking it's something you need and they bought you a notebook that you needed. Or it doesn't have to be
100%.
It doesn't need to
That's
be.
why
I find there's a really big like strain on this one, and everyone always thinks like it's like materialistic.
I wanted to talk about that one after though, because I really do have I feel like there's the wrong opinion about that love language.
So the fourth one would be quality time. So just like being able to have time with your partner or whatever. And then the fifth one is physical touch. So physical touch means you like affection and everything. So I guess we'll talk about yours, we'll talk about mine, and we'll tell your sister to stop calling me.
So actually, like, and ever since you told me about them, like, at first I had like said like, oh, I'm for sure these, like this one, or I'm for sure these two. And then like the more I go, the more I realize, okay, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, maybe I could live without that. And
but two, if you have to choose two.
It's really hard for me to say like which two I would choose because it's always changing. But I really think like a really important one for me. And I know, like, I think these are the two that people kind of like.
You don't have to defend yourself.
No, but
what are your two?
I think like these two are the most like people look down upon them because it's like. But anyways, I think acts of service for me is really important. Like, I'm really, and you give, like, you kind of want to get what you give, right? And I'm somebody who I'll really do anything for you. Like, if I love you, I'm going to go above and beyond. So for me to be in a relationship where I do a lot for you and you don't really care to like put in effort, like, and for me, effort is not like, I'm not asking you to build me a fucking house, but it's like really little things. Like, it's like, just do something small. Like, oh, okay, you made the bed. Like, that for me is an act of service enough for me to be like, I feel like appreciated. Like, I feel appreciated for what I'm doing. And for me, that's really important because when I have somebody where I put in a lot of effort and I feel like they're kind of like not giving the same, like, it's really affects me, and I really get like that for me is the most, like, you could not compliment me and I'm fine. Like, I don't, like, it's not something that's so important. Like, I don't need to be like, oh, you look amazing, you look this. Obviously it's great and I love it, but it's not so important for me as like you showing me like I did this for you. For me, that's like, oh my God, you care about me so much, you know, because I would do that for you. So like, I think you look for what you give as well.
What's
like,
your second one?
My second one is hard. Like, it's really hard for me. Like, I want to say physical touch.
What are you contemplating between?
I want to say physical touch, and I also want to say, but I think the only reason I want to say this one is because it kind of goes in with acts of service.
I would absolutely think you're a physical touch person.
I'm definitely physical touch because I'm very, like, affectionate, but I can also be really not affectionate. But also, and I know this is the most hated on one, but I swear, gifts, but not in the sense of, like, for me, it goes in with, like, acts of service. For me, gifts, like, for me, a gift is like, oh, like, I saw you were missing shampoo, I bought you shampoo, and for me, that's like almost a gift.
Well, when she moves into an apartment, and that's her thoughts.
But do you know what
straight to the shampoo bottle.
I wanted to say that my mindset on that changed when I moved out, because when you're younger, a gift is literally a gift. Like, a gift is like somebody went and bought you a top, and it's like, wow, you know. But when you're like a gift can be anything, and I just think for somebody to like, and I love to give gifts, and even it's like you give me a gift and I feel so like, and it's not even it's not even that it's like, you know, you bought me a blow dryer and it's not like it was $6,000, but it's like I feel so like, wow, you went out of your way to spend your money on me. I feel so special. So like, I think that's really important for me, like somebody who like will go out of their way, and it's not about the money, and that's why I say it kind of goes with acts of service. It's more about like you took the time to think of something that I would like, or think of something that like would make me feel good, and you went and got it for me or prepared it for me. Like, that's really important for me. So it sounds materialistic to say
No,
gifts.
it's not
But
at
I think
all.
it's very important. And I think for me, like, I grew up, it's also the way you grow up. Like, I grew up in, like, you know, like, my dad was very, like, you know, he would just, like, to make me happy, he would just, like, buy me, like, a new top or whatever. So I guess, like, for me, like, you kind of bring that on. Like, you think, okay, somebody cares about me because they thought I would like this, you know?
It's true.
So I
for
think
sure.
it stays.
Okay, now what would you say your boyfriends are? Would you say they're exactly the same? Because that's the thing about love languages. That's what's really great. Like, if you're in a partner, like I did this with my boyfriend, I was like, what would you say? Because the thing is, you might have your perception of what you think what the, like your
Yeah.
boyfriend or whatever is two are, but always ask. And the thing is, it's okay if the two you have are completely different. What's really important is that you know what the other person's two are, so that if you are not somebody who technically
Gives love.
gives love
or physical touch,
not,
I mean,
like has physical touch, you know, you'll know that that's what your partner's expecting from you, so you'll have to like maybe work a little harder on that and you know touch them.
Give a little rub. I don't know if I would be able to guess what my boyfriend is. I would say 100,000% physical touch, for sure. Agree or disagree?
I think both of yous.
Physical touch for sure.
Yeah.
And I want to say, what's the fifth one? Physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts,
Acts of service,
and what
quality
else?
time.
Quality time.
Yeah. Like I know
physical touch for sure, but the other one is a little bit. It could be
To
something.
be
But physical touch is
continued.
definitely like 100%.
Yeah.
What about you? Okay, tell me yours.
Okay, so mine would definitely be it's hard because there's like physical touch 100%, number one. Like that's so important to me, and it's like if I want attention and I'm not getting it, I guess it comes with me being
Yeah.
you know, the last child, I guess.
The youngest.
Veronica made it very clear
Attention
that
seeking.
literally physical touch is super important. Like and so for my boyfriend, that's not number one, you know? So that's where sometimes we butt heads and I'm like, love me, give me attention, you know? And it's not one of his. For him, it would be more,
Well, tell me your second one first.
My second one would be, I think, receiving gifts.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I can't tell you off about it because I chose.
But for my boyfriend, let's say, it would be definitely quality time. That for him, that's like so important. Well, I think they're all important. But
No, like I said
for
before,
him, like,
it's
for
something
me to show him that
you,
I love him. It's like taking the time to spend time with him and being like, wow, like I could have been with my friends, but I'm choosing to be with you tonight.
Yeah.
Like just like giving him that time of day. My God, I seem like a horrible girlfriend. Like
you said giving gifts.
I can't see you today, but if you come with a gift, I'll show up, baby. And you'll give me my physical touch.
You said those Louboutins, and maybe I'll make time for you.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean,
so basically, guys.
I think they could all go together. It's just about like understanding.
Yeah.
Like,
It's really just
but
knowing
definitely
somebody
like
else's.
everybody wants these 5 things in a relationship, 100%. But you have to think about like if whoever's listening, you're trying to figure out what love language is yours. You have to think about like when you get, for example, like that's how I understand is like when I'm angry about something. Think about the root of it. Are you angry because
she's angry
somebody
he didn't buy her a shampoo bottle?
No, but it's like, think about it. Like, are you angry because he didn't like appreciate the way you look? Like, did that piss you off? Or are you angry because like you guys didn't cuddle enough or you didn't spend enough time this week? Like, that's something that bothered you. But it depends on the relationship because I'm like, it would be more like if somebody's always giving you compliments, like my boyfriend, I would never think, oh yeah, words of affirmation is my love language.
You're already
because
getting
I
it.
already get so much of it that I'm like, you don't think to say like, but it's like, what are the things that really mean a lot to you that like make you feel good, or when you don't have them, they make you feel worse. Yeah. So for me, I don't think that if my boyfriend didn't compliment me, like I wouldn't be pissed. I'd be like, hi Veronica, you look hot. Yeah. I'll compliment myself. So it's like, literally. Like that's not something that
and you guys are both like that, so it works.
Yeah. And I don't think he's words of affirmation either because I don't think he needs my words either. So
I bet.
We both
you guys are both good on your own, giving yourself those compliments in the mirror.
We do not need somebody to give us
damn, I look good and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You're not going, babe, how do I look?
Yeah. We're both looking at ourselves in the mirror. That's why I just got a new one. Now we each have a full length mirror.
I'm dead.
But I wonder if you guys, let us know what your love language is and what you think about it.
Let us know. And let us know if there's like one that you cannot deal with. Like,
I just think
if one guy has that particular one or that one girl, like you just can't.
But there's a lot of people, like some people are so not affectionate. Like there are sometimes it just wouldn't work. Like, like for example, I could be very not affectionate, but I know people that are so not affectionate. They could never be with somebody that needs
but for me,
touch.
that's wild, and I almost can't believe that. I guess because I'm like an affectionate, I'm an affectionate person, but I'm not like if you see us out, it wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like crazy, like okay, calm down. But like I'm saying, like when it's us two, like I expect it almost.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. I'm just thinking about the other day when we were leaving the gym and you said love you and I didn't say it back and you said I didn't hear you say it. Literally. So now I'm kind of thinking you need words of affirmation. And I said, love you.
It's true, actually.
No, that was hilarious.
I think
but we're all.
I want to throw in receiving gifts in there because nothing makes me happier than a gift.
But in a different way. You know what I mean? Like I get why receiving gifts, and so I'm happy that that's both ours because I feel like it's so like people say, huh, who the fuck chooses receiving gifts? But it's so important. Like you know, it's just like, and also like I'm saying,
just because I like physical touch.
But it
doesn't mean I want to sleep with you.
But it's like you said, it's giving and receiving. So it's like usually if you give a lot of gifts, for you feel like I should get a lot of gifts to feel. Does that make sense? Or if you do a lot of acts of service,
not necessarily.
You feel like somebody should because I show love by giving acts of service. Like I also do those things. Like I show love by doing things for people.
Yeah.
And then I expect to for me, love is doing things for me, you know?
So
it's
technically
like,
you're saying, it's
usually,
if you're in a relationship, then both should have similar ones because
not similar, but it's just like
giving what you're expecting.
But like technically speaking, like you need physical touch, right? But you give a lot of physical touch, wouldn't you say? So it's like you're give and receive that kind of love language. Yeah. So usually like because you give it, you expect
fair enough.
You expect that means okay, that if for me to say I love you, I bought you a candle. Then I feel like for you to say I love me back, you buy me a candle. Do you know what I mean? Like just to make it as fucking foolproof as possible.
Yes and no, though, because sometimes you know, like people, like for example, like whatever Christmas time or whatever, like people love giving gifts, but sometimes they don't necessarily like getting them back. So
100%.
Yes and no. It really all in moderation, guys. This is just a little guide, you know. Yeah. We're no counselors.
Well, clearly you fucking fired your aunt from her counseling job.
Oh my god!
You said she has some things to work on.
I love you, and I still think you should continue as a coach.
Just write it down and make a mood board, and maybe you'll be a coach.
Oh my god! And literally work more on the plan of how to get there.
But thank you guys for listening, and I feel like this was our most serious.
Oh my god!
Informative.
My god! If you guys laughed, I guess.
I mean, I hope I looked ugly so you could laugh at something. I can't call this a comedy podcast anymore. They're going to leave the thing crying.
But guys, if you do watch, please subscribe.
Yes, I was going to say
like and follow. You know, you want to give like support to the people you're watching.
Yeah, and I just want to say shout out to everybody that does go out of their way to message us and stop us. Like I get stopped all the time saying, oh my god, I've seen your podcast, I've listened to it, it's great.
Yeah. Like, and like this actually makes us want to continue and do this. You know, we're like, who's actually watching? We don't know behind the numbers if anybody's actually watching. You see a number and you go, okay, but who is that? Like,
and it's and it just means so much to us when you guys like we put in a lot of effort, a lot of hours for literally $0. Like we were just doing this because it's like
negative,
so
actually,
fun.
Guys.
$. So if you guys can like and subscribe, we're on Apple Music, Spotify, and fucking YouTube.
And we out.